India's new crypto tax. There's going to apparently be a 70% penalty on undisclosed gains. I guess they're having trouble with people not reporting their gains, which is pretty funny. Now, keep in mind, India also has a extremely high population of scammers, and those scammers are already outside of the law. And keep in mind too here that they are not reporting these. So it's kind of funny because the people that are obeying the rules are going to have a much harder time than the people that aren't. Obviously, if people are scamming, they're not going to report their cryptocurrency. It's just kind of funny that this is the whole thing. Maybe it's an act to essentially try to stop that or pursue people that are scamming. That's a possibility. Now, when I talk about the scams too, we also have to talk about there's not just like crypto jacking or the cold call scams, but you also have ransomware attacks. Most ransomware attacks are executed from foreign nations, of course, and they request payments in Bitcoin, right? Some do it in Monero, but in general they do. And so that's something to keep in mind when we're talking about this. I presume this could be, passed in relation to that problem, maybe, but I think overall it's just greedy governments, right? Which crypto came here to stop in the first place. So this is effective on the 1st, a few days ago, and it's a 70% tax penalty on undisclosed cryptocurrency gains. This move aims to align crypto with traditional assets like bullion under the virtual digital assets category, with these laws applying retroactively to gains from the past 4 years. So obviously this is going to make it extremely difficult for individuals that weren't able or didn't know exactly what all the rules were surrounding cryptocurrency, which we know every country has had, regulatory slowdown as it pertains to digital assets and cryptocurrency. I think this is straight criminal, right? You're saying, okay, well, we didn't give you good guidelines, but now we're going to retroactively put a 70% tax on all your cryptocurrency. That's awful. You're basically going to be turning everyone that holds crypto into a criminal in India at that point. I'm so glad we ended up with an administration in the United States that is going the opposite direction of this. This is oppressive for the people and downright criminal, in my humble opinion. They're saying in India, there's some people making comments about we thought it couldn't get any worse, that sort of thing. And there'll be more clarity on this, I'm sure, at some point. And it's kind of funny that it's undisclosed. It means that they kind of got to catch you. Are they going to catch them? I don't know. But $70 on every $100 gained it's just baffling. And so the Income Tax Act that is going into place is going to be under Section 158B of the Income Tax Act in India. And we just got to make sure that we're voting stateside to make sure this type of thing doesn't happen. Now, will it impact the price of cryptocurrency? That would be the next question. Yes and no, right? So it can, obviously, this cryptocurrency is going to have to be sold off to pay those gains. And I think in a lot of cases, what it's going to influence for people in that area is actually going to be the opposite of a sell-off. Because as soon as you sell off, and I would have to look more into their particular situation as far as capital gains. It doesn't say unrealized capital gains, so you're not having to pay those capital gains on something you haven't sold for the local currency. So in theory, you would probably see some sort of workarounds going on in that area. Maybe this does, beckon forth the original purpose of crypto, which is to bypass the banks and the government, and we start seeing real world use cases of people trading crypto for items, goods, and services, right? And in that case, it could be very, very good for the adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and drive the price up. On the flip side there, though, and depending on the way the rest of the tax act is written, if unrealized gains are a part of this in the future, all that sort of thing, if they start cracking down on people extremely hard, obviously there will have to be a large sell-off of the crypto to cover the taxes. And so that could negatively impact the price of Bitcoin. What do I think will happen at the end of the day? I think we're going to see a positive impact on the price of cryptocurrency because, frankly, as far as any Indian I've ever met, and my roommate was Indian, right? And I work with a lot of them because I work in IT, blah, blah, blah. And anybody from India specifically that I've communicated with, they don't really, how do I say this? They don't follow the rules, right? I mean, that's just kind of a given at this point. That's why they're infamous for, the call centers, etc. I think that as a population, they're very comfortable with working outside of the guidelines of the government policy, right? So, it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. If you would like to see more from this particular episode, take a look up here. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support me directly, you can go to sonofatech.locals.com and become a member. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Tuesday.